cycling. No, those 2,000 other posts were not the mother lode, but this one is. At least cycling this vehicle, the way it's configured, 2,000 pounds, cycling like it's going into a 60-mile-an-hour headwind, always measured. Wonderful electronics and horrible electronics, because their variability increases the challenge a lot. But it's no challenge at all. Cycling is a challenge. Imagine the challenge. This is a pretty good analogy. Imagine the challenge if you encountered the first and only bicycle that there ever was, and you're all alone. You're out in wilderness. You live in wilderness. There's no one that you'll ever meet to talk about riding a bicycle. And imagine that after 8 years, someone does come on the scene. They ride up in a bicycle, but you notice something immediately. Their crank area, their crank arms are completely different. Yours are on ball-bearing hinges, and they flop out to the side, and they wobble within themselves, and they wobble all over the place. There is no stability to them. Every instant is a different physical challenge to solve. And you've been doing it for 8 years. And you have no regrets about doing it. But it so happens that person has a proper set of crank arms that are in fixed relationship to the vehicle. There's no variability in them. None. Except they rotate around an axis. Imagine how transformative that is of your cycling experience. Well, that is a really good analogy for what has happened this morning. Guess what? It solves the problem. Two things. Primarily, if you make the most sacred thing, the only sacred thing, well, the only of two sacred things, keeping the knees pressed together every instant, every place on the rotation. They become a physical thing. They become a wonderful object. They become the center of attention. They become the center of effort. They become the center of coordination. And the other thing is related to it. That they maintain a precise forward direction, a specific forward direction, which is not hard to do, it's just not obvious to do. That every instant they need to be in an alignment that we can actually feel, although there's nothing physical going on, but we can actually feel it. That the alignment is exactly parallel to the crossbar, not the crossbar, the forward beam of this vehicle. It's that precise. It certainly feels that precise, and probably if it were measured, it is that precise. It just happens if you decide you want to do it, because in making it a priority, it just happens. It is not a strange thing for the body to do. It has just been 8 years not obvious for James. Even with the several weeks in Iowa 3-4 years ago that were so magic, where this must be what was going on. We knew it was central to the knees, we did not know that the knees were essentially, valuably central because they were pressed together. If they're not pressed together, no magic can happen. Only the analogy discussed at the beginning of this video log. A wonderful, impossible problem to solve. And if the knees are kept pressed together, every instant, every place in the rotation, everything else sacrificed to achieve that, which is an easy thing. The body knows how to do it. And secondarily, that the orientation of those is along the precise line. You can feel the line between the knees, oddly, the line that goes straight forward. You just have to gently look for it. It's right there. You've got a whole different world.